Everyone and their mother knows that a strong jaw makes men look more attractive. Hell, it even makes women look better looking in some cases as well. But when you ask someone what makes a strong jaw, he simply tells you, well, it needs to be wide and symmetrical. And they stop there, which is just a small part of the bigger picture. There are many components that's crucial to making the jaw look more attractive. The mandible length, the gonian and the gonial angle, its width and symmetry, the chin in its projection, and the ramus in its length. And today we will talk about the ramus length and the crucial part it plays of making or breaking your jaw. I will try and include Photoshop morphs in this one. It will make explaining much easier. If you want to support the channel or get your face evaluated by me with personalized look max and advice, link will be down in the description. Without further ado, let's get this video started. So we need to know first what is the ramus before we get into the details. The ramus of the mandible connects with the body of the mandible to form the gonial angle, and it also connects the jaw, the temporomandibular joint complex, also called TMJ. You would be familiar with this acronym if you had TMJ problems before. The ramus acts as a lever arm to amplify the bite force generated by your masseter muscles and the body of the mandible. A long ramus for men is considered attractive because in terms of evolutionary biology, a long ramus indicates a stronger bite force, which is attractive from a genetic standpoint. And because men on average have longer rami than women, a longer ramus is considered a masculine sexual dimorphic trait. A longer ramus will also lead to an overall aesthetically pleasing jaw. An average ramus length ranges in between 50mm and 63mm give or take, depending on the person. And the length of the ramus is measured from the midpoint of the tragus to where the jaw starts to angle. Now that we know the normal length of the ramus, we're going to take a look at the desired length of the body of the mandible. This one is measured from where the jaw angle starts and ends at your chin. An average mandible length ranges from 114mm to 124mm, give or take, depending on the person. And the desired ratio of the ramus to mandibular length is somewhere around 5 to 7. Okay, now that we got all of that down, let's move on to the gonial angle or gonial angle, however you like to pronounce it. What is the gonial angle? Gonial angle or jaw angle is the angle made by the connection of the lower edge of the jawbone and the posterior border of the ramus. The average female gonial angle ranges from 118 degrees to 130 degrees. As for men, it ranges from 118 degrees to 126 degrees. Although I found men to look best with 110 degrees to 118 degrees with outliers looking good, with figures below or average that. It's very tricky. Now we will take a look at some examples that show the importance of all the good stuff we just mentioned above. Here we can see this guy's ramus is relatively short and below average. This led to a whole heap of problems to wreck in his lower third. The gonial angle is way too steep, around 135 degrees. This also led to the illusion of a short mandible, or he might have a short mandible. I don't have enough information here through the pictures. Speaking of the mandible, as you guys see here, instead of being forwardly grown, it grows downwards, which is unattractive. He also have a recessed chin, but that's a subject for another day. Now let's give him a good ramus with some Photoshop magic. Night and day difference. Instant 50-point gain in masculinity. The gonial angle now is somewhere around 112 or 113 degrees, a masculine and attractive angle. The gonion is visible. The mandible is forwardly grown instead of growing downward, and it also gives the illusion of a longer mandibular length. When you see an angular looking jaw, there are usually 4 factors at play in the making of that jaw. The first one is a lengthy ramus, a masculine gonial angle, a long mandibular length, and an outwardly grown and prominent gonion. I took here a side profile of Brad Pitt. I'm gonna do some modifications and shorten his ramus length so that you guys get a good idea of the importance level of the ramus. And here we just completely destroyed the jaw of Brad Pitt by shortening his ramus. You also don't want your ramus length to be overly long or you will end up looking like this. Trust me, you don't want to end up looking like this. Now this part is completely theoretical. The ramus length and many other parts of the lower third are affected by our diets as kids. For kids who chewed harder on complete foods, they had longer rami, so there is a correlation in between the two. Also, you might have a long ramus, but you are simply not lean enough, so it might be covered by the fat. It would seem the best course of action is to eat whole foods, chew mastic gum, get the jaw working, and get very lean. 12% body fat range should be the goal. Now, I'm not saying this will work 100%, and I'm not saying it won't. Like I said, theoretical. But what do you guys think? Is the ramus important as it's made to be? Let me know down in the comment section. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A like and subscribe will be highly appreciated. And like usual, catch you guys in the next one.